I believe that visiting places of worship of our friends and neighbors and family members of a different faith is really important and does enhance a genuine understanding of each other. I remember when I was teaching in the seminary back in Malaysia, I was doing a course on understanding other religions and interfaith relations and dialogue. It was really important for me to bring the students who would be future pastors or church leaders to actually go to the places of worship of a religion that is different from their own. And many times we were greeted with great hospitality, whether it's by a Hindu priest, a Buddhist monk, or our friends with the Sikh Gurdwara, or the ustaz, or the religious leader of the mosque. And I would find that many of my students, in fact all of my students, would be really appreciative of the hospitality and the warmness that they experience in those encounters. Now, why is it so important? Because very often when it comes to religion, we are either stuck with what we read in books, or worse is what we only see in the news headlines or see on TV, and worse, in the age of social media, often there's a lot of misinformation that is being spread around. So the visit to someone's place of worship, and especially encountering again and being in dialogue with practitioners of their faith and the religious leaders there, really opens up our horizons in understanding one another. Because this is a face-to-face encounter. It's real. It's not in the realm of an idea or our constructed idea that often is based on our own prejudices and misunderstandings. And that's why when the students talk about themselves being touched by the hospitality, it's really about one's humanity when we're meeting one another as human beings. In fact, it goes deeper, isn't it? That we are not just people of faith, but we are actually human beings. And in these places of worship, we find that this truly enhances us, because when one worships, or the place in which they worship, is really where we open up ourselves most authentically towards the divine, but also allowing our beliefs to shape us in the way we live outside with other people. Of course, there may be challenges when it comes to these excursions. One needs to be sensitive to the rules and the rituals and how we can be respectful in these situations, but they can be overcome by giving a good briefing. And very often I find that our hosts are very generous to us when we maybe make a mistake or walk into in the wrong way, or may stumble in the way we try to understand what is going on in that place. So in some ways, these interfaith short films that showcase religious sites is a safe way in which we can begin to prepare ourselves, because these short films, for me, opens up the opportunity for us to enter into the world of a person of a different faith. And I was very inspired by one of the films that talks about coexistence in Iraqi Kurdistan. This was a film that showed different religious groups and with long traditions in Iraqi Kurdistan, and how more knowledge of them and their presence and the history in the region actually take us deeper than the headlines that we often see that is very negative about Iraq, especially about the minority groups. So watching that film was quite inspiring for me, but even more inspiring was when I had the opportunity to have a dialogue with the director, Zahavi Sanjavi, and to understand what motivated him to produce such a film. And really, I could see that it was really about showing the true picture of how religious people of different faiths live on the ground, and this is actually how they live with one another So these interfaith short films really are powerful tools in which we can encourage conversation and help each other enter into a different world, when in actual fact, at the end of the day, we also open up ourselves for others to enter our world too.